Ask the Messengers, the program that deals with substance abuse, real people telling real stories. Hosted by Pastor Lester Lewis, co-host Charlize Wilkerson and Leroy Carey. Produced by David Humphreys. Where there is addiction, there is a chance for recovery. We're trying to help save lives on Ask the Messengers.
Our topic on this episode of Ask the Messengers is marijuana, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Our guests today are Matthews Yascolt, Heloise Glenn, Dr. Arthur Bouier, plus Nisa the Bud Tender, and Coco, Detroit's favorite comedienne. They will discuss the pros and cons of legalized marijuana in Michigan. Is it good, bad, or ugly? You decide. And now, here he is, the host of Ask the Messengers, Lester Lewis.
Welcome to Ask the Messengers. I am Lester Lewis, your host for today's show. On today, we're going to be talking about marijuana, the pros and the cons. In 2008, the use of medical marijuana was agreed upon here and voted upon in the state of Michigan. And then 10 years later, in 2018, we voted, and again, the people wanted to have recreational marijuana as part of their legalized use. And so it ignited a storm of questions, concerns, comments, and so we felt that it was necessary for us here at Ask the Messengers to provide you with the information so that you can make an informed decision as to what is proper to believe about the marijuana issue. I just want to go right into, Matt, can you tell us what this whole issue really stems from?
Absolutely. What I like to tell a lot of people is I'm not opposed to marijuana as they might think of it as, because I don't really care if a grown adult wants to smoke weed in their basement. But that's not what this is about. This is about the industrialization and commercialization of marijuana, an addictive industry that, much like big tobacco, looked at their market research and saw that if we want to secure lifelong customers, because that's what an industry wants. Mm-hmm. If I own a restaurant, I want lifelong customers. If I own if I sell a shampoo product, I want someone that's going to consume that product every time they take a shower on a daily basis. So another industry, much like big tobacco, saw to get lifelong users, you need to market to people under the age of 18.
So, Matt, so you're saying this is a marketing campaign. This was not just, we just want to help people along so they can get better. This is about money.
Absolutely. This is about increasing addiction. And a lot of people say that we're in an opioid epidemic right now. I think they're wrong. We're in an addiction epidemic. And there are many paths to addiction, just like there are many paths to recovery. But the point is we're being presented with something right now that says making more drugs more accessible is actually going to help.
Okay. So now it also is about, the children having access to it as well, and it being detrimental to children. And Dr. Bouier, you have a comment about that. Can you tell us about how it impacts our children?
Well, it causes our children to want to get higher because there's suckers available, there's candy available. Now they have what's called Xanny tarts. They actually liquefy Xanax and put it on the sweet tarts and give it to children. So all we're seeing is an increase in addiction in the children now because of multiple options that they have to get high off of.
So you're saying they're also marketing it so that children can also have some of the marijuana extracts from it.
Well, they're marketing it for the adults, but the kids are getting a hold of it.
Gotcha. Okay. So if the children are getting hold of it, then that means that they can influence their friends and others, and it's addictive, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Well, listen, also we have with us Heloise Glenn, and she's going to talk to us about the process of how someone is licensed to gain access to legalized marijuana.
Good afternoon. The aspect of medical marijuana and the concept of getting a card through the state of Michigan is a patient has to have a qualifying condition. They have to be treated by their internal care physician first for the condition, and then they come to our clinic and they get examined by my physician that does the qualification for marijuana cards in the state of Michigan. We also developed a 6-month follow-up program with patients so that they can come back and we monitor their use with marijuana in regards to helping them with their debilitating condition.
Okay, so can you tell us the difference between the medicinal marijuana and recreational marijuana?
Medicinal marijuana is licensed through the state of Michigan, is tested and qualified through an accredited lab. All the levels of mold, pesticides, and things like that are tested through a lab to make sure that it's safe for human consumption. In regards to that aspect, patients are knowing exactly what they're getting. They're getting things that are more purified and not altered by the street creds to make the medicine more natural and holistic and healing for the patients.
I'd like to chime in there,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, no.
A couple pieces. Qualifying condition. I'm not really opposed to medical marijuana. I think that if someone needs, if they have a debilitating condition, as you defined, I think if someone has issues with epilepsy, I've got 2 kids. If I had a kid with epilepsy, I'd want to try whatever it takes. Not THC, certainly, because I wouldn't want my kid to become addicted, but other possibilities that are within marijuana, like CBD oil.
Yes.
However, chronic pain is currently a condition, and that's completely unmeasurable. I think that we need to take medical marijuana and put it into the hands of pharmacists, into the hands of doctors and professionals, and put regulations on there right now. There was a recent recall through Lara because of mold being in marijuana.
Yes.
That's extremely concerning. Medication, as it is defined through the FDA, should be regulated, and there should be more accountability than a product that's
But there are
poisonous
also
or has mold
recalls
in it.
on pharmaceutical meds as well because of side effects and repercussions from products that are released through pharmaceutical reps.
But there's a governing body there. There's the FDA who can go in and say, all right, we can take your pharmacy license or your medication license away. There's some sort of repercussions there as opposed to.
But wouldn't that
Well,
be
there-
wouldn't that be
growing
wouldn't that
weed
be
in the
the
basement.
government getting involved again in that? Wouldn't that be couldn't that be
And
dangerous?
that's what the state is regulating with their process of getting the government implemented. That's why they're setting up the testing facilities to test the products, and they do trial and error. There's a lot of research studies that are being conducted through Michigan State, Wayne State University, in regards to the side effects and repercussions of people who use marijuana. So it's just like everything else with the FDA. Everything goes through research and trial and error. I mean, the same thing started off with Vicodin and Darvocet and stuff like that. There's side effects and there's benefits and there's repercussions from using those medications. But everything goes through the FDA. That goes through the FDA does not necessarily mean it's holistically approved and accredited. There's always side effects and repercussions from anything that's introduced to the public.
We're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back with more on this conversation of marijuana, the good, the bad, the ugly. We're giving you the pros and the cons of medical as well as recreational marijuana. So go tell somebody to tune in to Ask the Messengers. We'll be right back.
Do you need a banner, brochure, or business cards? What about posters or funeral programs? No matter what your design and printing needs are, R&L Color Graphics can help. R&L Color Graphics has been serving the metropolitan area for more than 25 years and has also been honored to be the official printing partner for the Aretha Franklin Family Foundation. So if you're looking for an official Aretha Franklin funeral program, tribute item, or custom design job, give us a call at 313-345-3838 or visit us on the web at rnlcolor.com.
Changing an addict's life and providing support to the addict's family is the goal of the Live Right Structure Recovery Corp. Dialectical behavior therapy on Wednesdays, spiritual recovery and yoga classes on Thursdays, physical and nutritional education class on Fridays. Live Right also accepts donations of cars, trucks, boats, and campers in any condition. Again, for more information and a complete list of their events, go to their website at liverightstructuredcorp.com or call 586-217-5899. Life short, live right.
God's World, a Detroit institution at West 7 Mile and Schaefer says, get them while they last. The Old Bombers 2017 commemorative calendar is going fast. Get your church supplies, communion cups, tithe envelopes, Bibles, inspirational books by top authors. Call in your orders at 313-862-8220. Shop online at godsworldsuperstore.org. God's World, for all your inspirational needs.
Looking for a rewarding career in healthcare? Enroll now at ODYSSEY Educational Center. Become a certified nursing assistant by taking our 3-week program, or enroll to become a hemodialysis technician in our 10-week program. We offer day and evening classes, free childcare, ages 6 weeks to 5 years old. Payment plans and financial aid available. Plus, we are a Michigan Works affiliate. Enroll now at ODYSSEY Educational Center. Area code 313-341-7512. Your new career begins at ODYSSEY.
We are back with Ask the Messengers, and we are talking about marijuana, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We are giving you the pros and cons and just talking about all that you need to know to make sure that you can make an informed decision. I have with me today my guest, Matt. I've got Dr. Bouier as well as Heloise. She's with us today. And Dr. Bouier, there's a question about prescriptions. If you're given a prescription for Vicodin or for any medication, that's the only thing you can get. But if you're given a prescription for marijuana, you can basically go and get any type. Can you speak to that, please?
Well, when you're given a prescription for a narcotic like Vicodin, when you go to the drugstore, that's the only thing that you can get is the Vicodin. But when you go to a dispensary for a prescription with marijuana, you can get all sorts of edibles, vapors, any type of THC product that's out there, and it gives you a wider variety.
So couldn't that be detrimental to someone? I mean, what if they're mixing it and interacting it with something that they ought not do?
Well, it definitely causes problems with people on other medication, people who have lung conditions and other medical problems. You have to be very careful with the type of THC that you inhale or either eat.
Okay. So now, also, we talked about the packaging of the marijuana and how they have, there are certain ways that it has to be packaged. Matt, can you kind of speak to the fact of the packaging of the actual marijuanas and how that works?
Yeah, I spoke earlier about an industry that wants to increase addiction to increase profit, right?
Yes.
So they're going to package to people that are underage consumers. I just saw breakfast cereal the other day with a Trix rabbit holding a bong, bloodshot eyes, stoned out of his mind. You know, that's not for adults. That's for kids. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to make it appeasing to children. Cool colored lollipops and sodas.
Yeah,
that's not for a grown adult.
Yeah, they said tricks are for kids, right? That's what they
said. And smoking a medicine just seems a little absurd, right? Going in and having a doctor say, hey, man, smoke this. You'll feel better. That just seems a product that has tar in it that's detrimental to someone's lungs could not possibly be a medicine.
But there are people who will swear by the fact that this thing works and it absolutely helps me. And how would you refute what they're saying? I mean, they are saying it helps, but but in turn, we are also getting reports that it's bad for you. What do you do?
Well, I think it's that misconception out there, right? If I Google marijuana, I can find that it cures all cancer, it cures all epilepsy, it gets rid of all Mexican and Colombian drug cartel, and it probably makes me a better driver, when in reality the lobby dollars in Colorado were 44-1 when marijuana passed. So for every $1 that we had in the opposition, Colorado pro-lobby folks had $44.
So Matt, what you're saying is we don't need to build the wall. All we need to do is just legalize marijuana and we good to go, right? All right. Heloise, listen, we want to talk about, okay, so now there is different ways in which marijuana can be taken, either by papers, pipe, or vapor. Which one is the best way?
First of all, I want to reiterate on the aspect of a person getting prescribed marijuana.
All right.
When you go to a dispensary, you need to go where someone that is dosing your medication to you, they need to be intelligent on what they're giving you. There's different strands of marijuana that deals with different issues. In regards to cancer patients, I've worked with cancer people who are in recovery and in remission. There's an extract called Rick Simpson oil, which is a pure extract that's taken sublingually, just like nitroglycerin is taken sublingually to help a heart attack. This helps relieves cancer cells, nausea, insomnia, and anxiety. Everyone who uses marijuana on a medical aspect is not using it as an addictive substance or using it to curtail their treatment that they're on. They're using it as a holistic aspect to try something different. As you know, when you take a pain pill, you may have something, it may cure one thing, but it may hurt something else. Right. So just like people take vitamins and holistic things to curtail their treatment, marijuana is supposed to be in the same aspect.
Okay.
When you come to our office and you get certified by our physician, you get a health insurance card that allows you to go and shop at different dispensaries to use, so you can decipher which marijuana strand is good for the condition that you have. So I understand the aspect on what Matt is saying about kids being accessible to these things because of the pretty coloring and stuff like that. But the state is regulating the packaging, and they're regulating who can go in and get it, and you're supposed to have this health insurance card, which is your state-issued medical marijuana card, in order to get your medication. So that's how they regulate and control it.
Gotcha.
With the recreational aspect, it won't be controlled. It's just like going to a street house and getting anything that you want.
So for Dr. Bouier, this is a question for Dr. Bouier. So is there a limit as to what a person can get once they have the prescription? Because just as Heloise has just said, there's some regulations, but is there a limit to how much a person can get once they get a prescription?
A prescription for medicines, there's a limit, but not for marijuana.
Okay. So in other words, if they get it recreational, then they have to get that amount.
Yes.
Okay, and what's the amount? What's the maximum amount?
Well,
2.5 ounces in their possession at all times, and they can have 10 ounces in a locked compartment in their possession at all times.
And I have a big problem with that. 2.5 ounces to carry around on your person, that's not for personal use. I don't even think big names.
It depends on how much you
dose
dose per day.
It
depends on how much you dose per day.
Marijuana. That's a ton of weed.
Right.
That's for distribution.
Right.
That's for taking those cool color lollipops and going into malls and selling them to underage kids. That's for rolling into separate joints and distributing for profit. 2.5 ounces is not a personal use. This is
It depends on how much you consume per day. Just like you say, if you get a prescription for Vicodin and it says take 3 times a day or as needed, you don't know that person's pain threshold to know what's usable for them per day.
Okay.
Some
I
people
talk about
can smoke.
extracts too. How strong can your extracts be? That
It's regulated
the
through the state.
oils and.
They
But
can't
how
be-
strong is it?
It
in
can't
the
be
store that you have?
past 100 milligrams,
So
which is
listen,
equivalent to 1 gram.
we're going to be back with more from our guests. We've got Matt coming back. We also have Nisa, who is a bud tender, as well as Coco. Don't go anywhere. Ask the Message is going to be right back.
Looking for a rewarding career in healthcare?
Advantage Living Center has partnered with ODYSSEY Educational Center. Upon completion of your CNA program, immediate employment is available. AMG has homes on the east side and west side of Michigan, as far as Armado and Battle Creek. So come be a part of our team.
Enroll now at ODYSSEY Educational Center. Become a certified nursing assistant by taking our 3-week program, or enroll to become a hemodialysis technician in our 10-week program. Your new career begins at ODYSSEY.
Do you need a banner, brochure, or business cards? What about posters or funeral programs? No matter what your design and printing needs are, R&L Color Graphics can help. R&L Color Graphics has been serving the metropolitan area for more than 25 years and has also been honored to be the official printing partner for the Aretha Franklin Family Foundation. So if you're looking for an official Aretha Franklin funeral program, tribute item, or custom design job, give us a call at 313-345-3838 or visit us on the web at rnlcolor.com.
Changing an addict's life and providing support to the addict's family is the goal of the Live Right Structured Recovery Corp. Dialectical behavior therapy on Wednesdays, spiritual recovery and yoga classes on Thursdays, physical and nutritional education class on Fridays. Live Right also accepts donations of cars, trucks, boats, and campers in any condition. Again, for more information and a complete list of their events, go to their website at liverightstructuredcorp.com or call 586-217-5899. Life short, live right.
God's World, a Detroit institution at West 7 Mile in Schaefer, says get them while they last. The Old Bombers 2017 commemorative calendar is going fast. Get your church supplies, communion cups, tithe envelopes, Bibles, inspirational books by top authors. Call in your orders at 313-862-8220. Shop online at godsworldsuperstore.org. God's World, for all your inspirational needs.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back to Ask the Messengers. We have been having the discussion about marijuana, the good, the bad, and the ugly, giving you the information about whether or not it is a good thing or a bad thing for marijuana to be legalized. And we have in our segments earlier, we talked about how it affects children and talked about the different types of things that go into someone getting approved for the card. We just give you a bunch of information so that you can know exactly what it is you believe about this topic. Now, one thing is for sure, the marijuana that's out today is not mama and daddy's weed. It is not the weed that they were smoking back in the day. It is much different. And so, Coco, you are in the entertainment industry. You know about celebrities. You know that people, they look at others and what they do and follow behind them. Is the smoking of weed and glamorization of weed in the celebrity realm, are children following their steps?
Now, wait a minute. You done made me a weedologist now. Now I got a reefer expert up in here because I'm an entertainer. You know what? It's changed, but there are so many things that influence our young people. And when you find out an entertainer does smoke marijuana, if a young person wants to have that lifestyle, then of course they're going to do it. But it's not just the marijuana. It's the marijuana. Then they got the cough syrup with the codeine in it. Then they got the pain medication that they're taking. And then they got the cognac and stuff that they're drinking. So they layering it and layering and layering. And there are some entertainers that are constantly living in a fog. They are always in a fog. They handlers handle them in that fog, and they never come out of it. It takes something really traumatic, like maybe bleeding on the brain or something like that, or a series of seizures, whatever, to make them come to that reality like, hey, I'm getting too high. Right. And I have walked in and I'm like, oh, okay, y'all smoking real strong in here. But when I did smoke, I didn't want everybody to know that I smoked because I didn't like the stench and the smell that was associated with it. I just didn't like that smell. I didn't want to be in a group of quote unquote weed heads.
All right. So listen, we have also with us Matt. And Matt, listen, we talked about that cigarettes kind of started in this same vein. The opioids started in this same vein, as marijuana has now been legalized and now medicinal and now recreational. Can you tell us about why what do you think is in the future is headed for the marijuana industry?
Sure. So we have an industry who, much like big tobacco, they're increasing addiction. They're marketing to kids. Purdue Pharma, back in 1997, came out with OxyContin. They marketed it to doctors as something that was safe, a safer alternative to Vicodin at that time. It was overprescribed, prescribed for pain, and then people realized, oh, OxyContin's much more dangerous than we thought. It's extremely addictive. They pulled it off of the market, stopped prescribing it so often, but the addiction was already there. So heroin flooded, and that's how we're in that heroin epidemic that we're in today, right now. And it's all misinformation that's being put out right now. You know, today everyone's against tobacco and opioids. It's kind of like baseball and apple pie. But for some reason, when I bring up marijuana, it's like I'm missing the bus somehow, when in reality, legalized drugs that are marketed to kids is not going to be successful in our future. It's going to be an increase in addiction.
All right. Well, listen, we also have Nisa with us. And Nisa, you are a bud tender. Can you tell us what it is that you do? What is a bud tender?
So bud tender is basically a pharmacist in a sort. When people come into our dispensary, bud tenders are tasked to educate them about the different types of strains and ways to ingest cannabis and THC and CBD oils. And then we also try to point them towards the best strain for them. Patients come in for a different variety of problems, from chemotherapy, nausea, to migraines, to arthritis. So it's my job to point them towards the correct strain that's going to assist them with alleviating these symptoms.
So, Nisha, hold on. You just said something very, I caught it, and I hope that the viewers caught it too. You called them patients. They're not customers. Can you explain that?
Yes. As I stated earlier, we are not a trap house. They are not customers. They are patients. They come in for our assistance. They come in for our knowledge. They come in to alleviate pain or symptoms that they're going through, whether it be emotional, mental, or physical.
All right.
So let me say something. I'm sitting over in the corner being real quiet. I have been a person that used Nisa, the CBD oil, and I used to take that oil and rub it together on my hands and slather it down my legs, slather it like goose, slather it
like goose grease,
and it helped for the pain until I got my knee replaced. And then to Matt, I got to say to you, there are a lot of people that are addicted to heroin that never used opioids, never used anything else. They went straight to heroin. They went straight big dog. So you can't always make a connection that once you use opioids, the next thing that you'll use is heroin. And I'm going to digress.
Yeah. There are many paths to addiction, just like there are many paths to recovery. But the point is we're being presented with something right now that says making more drugs more accessible is somehow going to help.
Yes and no. We're going to digress on that, Matt. I still love you.
So listen. So now we come back. Nisa, now you have individuals who come into, they have pain, they have issues, and how do you decipher who gets what?
So there is a legal limit that they're allowed to get, the 2.5 ounces a day. With that being stated, I will ask the patient, I kind of give them a little rundown when they're a new patient. What are you in for? What is your experience? What's your preference? They tell me whether or not they like indicas or sativas, a more mellow weed or a weed that's upper. What kind of pain are you experiencing? And from all of these profile questions, I give them my suggestions based off. I try to be really knowledgeable about what's going on as far as our strains. So it's basically they kind of have to have a knowledge about themselves, and I pair it with my knowledge of the weed and the items that we have in the store, and we put it together just like any other pharmacist would do.
We're going to go around and just get a message from each and every one of the people you have here in the studio. Coco, what kind of message would you have for someone today?
I want to tell people, make conscious decisions and think about what you're doing, no matter what it is, if it's the CBD oil, if it's the marijuana, if you're a person in long-term recovery or short-term recovery, think about the decisions that you make, because what decision you make in 1 second may affect the rest of your life.
All right, thank you. Matt, come on. I know you're no short of words. Come on, tell us what you got.
Well, you know, the bud tender did a great job. She discussed about how it's not a trap house anymore and made it sound really glamorous and well organized. And in reality, the high potency THC marijuana that we haven't touched on that much can be and is marketed as up to 99.9% THC. This is something that's smoked out of a crack pipe on a superheated needle, guys. This is not weed anymore. This is highly synthetic, highly potent THC.
All right. And Nisa.
I guess I would just like to leave everybody with the message that you need to do your own research. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody else. Look into it for yourself. Go into credible sources or come into the dispensary. Talk to your bud tenders. Then you can listen to me. But just don't be so willing to take the blurb and the messages and everything that's been fed to the public over the year. You know, find out by yourself what's going to work for you before you make a concrete decision on whether or not you're for or against medical marijuana.
All right.
Before you go into that dispensary, go to www.healthyandproductivemichigan.com and see why recreational marijuana is not the right choice.
Listen, thank you so much for tuning in to Ask the Message. I want to thank all of our guests who are on the show today, and we appreciate them and the information that they brought just so that you might have the right information to make decisions. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Ask the Message.